So we couldn't have started this episode if we didn't speak about Gypsy Rose. I'm sorry.
Wow.
There is so much going on with Gypsy Rose, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot. Shall I give you the full-on debrief?
I've gone quiet here, but I'm like trying to navigate what's happened in the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 days.
2 days even.
24 hours.
Yeah. We need to put a live tracker on Gypsy Rose.
We do, don't we?
So we get updates on every new thing she does.
Put her on Find My Friends.
Yeah, we need
her
on Find My Friends because there's something new that's cropping up with her every single day, right? So obviously, if you don't know Gypsy Rose, you've got to have been living under a rock.
Yeah, if you don't know, get to know.
Get to know, and we're going to let you get to know, right? So Gypsy Rose, full name Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Yeah.
I was going to say allegedly. No, she did. She was convicted. She was in conspiracy to kill her mum, which was like 10 years ago. So
yes,
she was a victim of Munchausen by proxy syndrome, which means her mum used to make up that she had certain medical illnesses or things wrong with her, different diseases, all sorts, right? So from literally the Gypsy's birth until when she was, I think maybe 18, 19, when she realised things aren't adding up, her mum told her, you've got this disease, you've got that disease, you've got to be in a wheelchair, you can't use your legs.
Did she say she had leukemia?
She said she had leukemia.
She was going through chemo for no reason.
Yeah.
Did she have chemo in the end? I can't remember.
She didn't, but her mum would shave her head for her.
Jesus, it's like...
Had her in a wheelchair and everything. And obviously this meant that Gypsy's mum Dee Dee got loads of like financial aid and benefits. She got a house bought for her. The community were always like rallying and lots of charities.
Yeah, loads of stuff.
That were giving money to Gypsy and Dee Dee because of Gypsy's conditions. Anyway, fast forward to Gypsy's sort of teenage years, she starts to realise, actually, I can use my legs. I can move around. But mum keeps telling me to get back in my wheelchair. This is a bit strange. She was very secluded. She didn't have many friends other than her neighbour across the road on her cul-de-sac. And she found out that her friend met her boyfriend on this Christian dating site. And then that's when Gypsy's cog started whirring, where she was like, I'm going to have a look at this Christian dating site and I'm going to find a man.
Find a man, yeah.
So Gypsy's gone out, snuck a laptop into her house. She's going through, she's now on Facebook and she's speaking to multiple men on Facebook, right?
God.
This is when she meets her boyfriend at the time. And he was called Nick Godejan, sorry. He used to speak every day, but he had problems with himself. So he had a lot of mental health issues. And he also had like a fixation with like wanting to do crazy stuff like killing people and like.
Oh, did he actually as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So Gypsy started opening up to him, and that's when she was like, Nick, I need you to help me get out. My mum has got me locked up in here. I'm never going to be able to leave. She's never going to let me go.
I guess, sorry to interrupt, but I guess her realising that she then can't, it sounds crazy, but get better to get out, I suppose, because she's going to be a prisoner to all these medications that her mum's making her take.
Yeah.
And I guess if she doesn't take it, then it's like...
her mum would beat her up.
Well, yeah, because if she's like, these drugs are like numbing her, paralysing her to some degree. She's obviously bedbound, so this guy can obviously help.
Exactly. So when Gypsy started to realise these things and she was like, I want to get out, obviously speaking to Nick, whenever Gypsy refused to like comply with her mum's orders during that period, that's when her mum started to get more abusive and like tie her to her bed and stuff like that. So she couldn't leave the house and like shut the blinds so nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, this all led to Nick and Gypsy conspiring together to murder her mum, Dee Dee Blanchard.
Yeah.
Nick comes in the house, kills Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Nick was the one that did the act, but obviously Gypsy and Nick planned it together.
Yeah.
And Gypsy and Nick were sentenced to, Gypsy was sentenced, I think, 10 years in prison, and Nick has been sentenced to life in prison.
No parole either.
No parole for Nick. But because Gypsy did 8 years of good behaviour in prison, she did a lot of different programs to like better herself.
Yeah.
And I think she got a GED in America, which is like high school diploma.
Okay.
She was let out 2 years early on good behaviour. So that's fast forwarded to where we are now. That's a quick timeline of Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
And in December, she's been released from prison, and ever since, she has been wilding, right?
Yeah.
So she met her husband in prison.
How old was she when she went? How old is she now?
She is, I'm not too sure. I think she must be about maybe 27.
Yeah, so when she went to prison.
She's definitely a millennial.
Okay, yeah. So when she's obviously missed out on
life.
Yeah.
And
for a long time.
experiences.
Yeah, big time. Well, her whole life anyway.
Exactly.
Being like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Every
Christ.
element.
I forget that. No, I don't forget, but like, prison for 10 years. Okay, she went when she was 18, so obviously she must have had like Facebook and all Bebo and all. It's like, well, I guess she did at one point, but as in like mentally unwell, well, physically unwell because her mum was, drugging her and abusing her.
Exactly. So she's never had any experience of normal life.
God, yeah.
So she met her husband out through a prison pen pal scheme.
Yeah.
They married when she was in prison. And then when she was released, she went straight out to live with him. And he was called Ryan Anderson.
Yes.
So they've been super in love, all over each other since being released. He picked her up from prison, been supporting her.
Yeah.
Very together.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. And then in the last week and a half to 2 weeks, Gypsy, that's literally the only way to describe it. Gypsy has left Ryan, or they have amicably left each other. She has then gone back to her ex-fiance because she was also engaged to somebody else.
Yeah, I didn't realise that.
Yeah. She was
Gyps?
I know. She was engaged to somebody else.
Hustler, love that.
I know. She also met through a prison pen pal scheme, which she left him to be with Ryan. But now she's left Ryan to get back with the ex-fiance, Ken, and she's wilding with Ken. So she's been pictured out smoking. She's getting matching tattoos with Ken.
Yeah.
She's had to come out and they've been on live saying, everybody thinks Gypsy's pregnant. Gypsy's not pregnant, but they're laughing and giggling. It's like,
I'm on birth control.
Yeah, I'm on birth. So you think there's a lot going on there. And she also, maybe 2 days ago, got a nose job.
Yeah.
I mean, what words have you got for that, Rob?
I just think it's so like, I don't know. It's so unhinged, but it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, imagine coming out of just being in this like life of not being able to do anything for a long time. Then you're in prison, so that's even like worse.
Yeah.
You come out, you become this star, you're kind of everywhere. Because she's deleted social media as well.
She has, yeah.
Deleted Instagram, stuff like that. So it's like...
And she deleted TikTok too.
Oh, did she?
So she's not on anything.
I liked her TikToks.
I did as well.
They were good fun.
Yeah, they were.
That's the thing, it's like... And it's kind of like, it's really weird because like, I guess the life that she's had, like the comments she says, I don't care if I've deleted Instagram. It's not real life. Like even she knows that, even going through all that stuff, she's come out of it and been like, TikTok and Insta isn't life.
Yeah.
Like life is being with Ken. Getting a nose job, matching tattoos, have a little smoke outside a shop.
Fair.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know how to say it, but I quite like just sitting back and letting her kind of do her thing.
I get that. I get that.
Just like,
and I'd
be the same. When I was 18, I was bloody wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So imagine coming out or do all this stuff. You just think, she must have money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she's hanging out with Ken, like
she's hanging out with Ken,
matching tattoos. Like, I mean, it's 10 days after they broke up, but maybe I don't know. There's so much to unpack here.
I know.
So there's so many moving plates. It's like crazy.
What do you think? I want to get your opinion on this. People are confused by Gypsy being dubbed a social media influencer, and people are like, at the end of the day, she did conspire to murder somebody. So I would love to know, like, what's your opinion on her being, I guess, an influencer? Because it's kind of like...
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's a hot topic in itself at the moment. It's like, should she be labelled that?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, personally, I think that when you're, like, to go to those... Because she was... I don't know even if you're born a killer, but I feel like there's something in you to do that. Like, I could never imagine myself doing anything like that.
Yeah.
But then if you've gone through what she went through and then realizing,
you might not know what you're capable of.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, she obviously couldn't pull the trigger herself, but she got someone else to do it. But I don't know.
It's a hard one.
It's really strange. Yeah, because it's like she's getting, it's like the best revenge. It's like, you've ruined my life.
Yeah.
You're my mum, and for all these years you've made me. It's like, get rid of her.
Yeah,
because that's the only way. Because again, if she had gone to the police, maybe they would have found out, maybe not.
Yeah,
and then it would have put everything back on, like back to the start. So maybe like, her being called an influencer where she's killed someone. I suppose it's like,
I guess it's such a blurred line again that comes with the term influencer. Like, it's such a grey area anyway. That it gets even murkier when you throw in a a person that's been involved with a murder that has then also gone on to become a bit of a reality TV person because she's done all these different documentaries while in prison, shows. Which is kind of reality-esque. To then come out and then get the same level of fame and spotlight that a reality TV person would or influencer would. Yeah. But she did still conspire to murder someone. It's such a it's a scrabble in your mind. You know what I mean? It's a hard one to comprehend.
Yeah, because I guess as well, she's defended herself in a weird way. Maybe I don't know. It's like
because in her eyes, she felt like there was no other way to get herself out of that situation. Obviously, the ideal situation would have been that the authorities did what maybe they should have done, and had a look into what was really going on in that house. And got Dee Dee the help that she needed because she was also a victim because she was genuinely believed Gypsy had all of these issues, and that comes from a place of mental, a mental health dysfunction anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So her mum was a victim that also made her daughter a victim, which was an awful, sad cycle.
Oh, Christ.
And now this person who is very damaged and needs a lot of help and therapy and counselling potentially for the rest of her life is now this huge star who's been thrown into the limelight.
Yeah.
It's no surprise really that she's doing all this crazy stuff. I don't
100%.
think anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean,
I'm surprised how like you said then, just like her coming out of that and then doing prison and she's come straight out, like straight on the scene, essentially. Like
she's had no like break
cool down period or just like disappeared for a bit and then came out. Or this, I don't know. Everyone's journey on those things are quite different, I suppose. But
from an outsider looking it in, I think she maybe needs a better team around her to advise her a little bit better. Yeah. Because let her do her crazy stuff. Like she's enjoying her like crazy stuff. I mean, like crazy stuff we all do, i.e., she's split up with her husband and she's gone back to her ex and then she got a tattoo. Like this just sounds like
which is normal.
A normal weekend for some teenagers. Do you know what I mean? Some people
do, you break up with someone, you go, all right, I'm going to Australia for 2 years, see you in a bit.
So many
all right, cool, you're dipping off, get your tattoos, like.
Yes.
So it's all related. You'll get it.
That's all relatable.
Yeah.
But she needs a little bit more guidance, I think, from like a PR point of view with like, because the pictures of her nose job, she has sent them directly to TMZ. They're a TMZ exclusive.
What did Tana, what did she say? Her tweet. She's like...
Tana Mojo was like what we just said, she's done this, she's done that, or, She
sent the pictures to
TMZ. Yeah, like, she's,
And then she said, I feel like we would get along.
I feel like we would get along, that was it. She was like, I get it. It's relatable.
Yeah, 100%.
So this era of Gypsy is relatable.
At least she's not getting, because it could go the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Like she could essentially turn into a bit of a crackhead.
Yeah.
Like she could go into drugs, she can go fall down that rabbit hole of stuff. Do you know what I mean? She could, I don't know, she could be doing all sorts of stuff.
And that's why we need to get somebody on Gypsy's team that can give her a bit more of a cuddle.
Yeah.
To be like, let's keep you on this sort of comfy path a little bit more. Let's get you in to speak to somebody a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
We don't mind you doing
She must be getting therapy, surely.
I'm not she must do, obviously. She's not spoken about it, but maybe.
I know she had it in prison, maybe that was like a part of it.
Potentially, yeah.
But coming out, 10 years, I don't know what it's like being locked up, but I know it must be weird coming out to real life and then being like, now what do I do? Like,
yeah, well, she's kind of like a baby.
Yeah, 100%.
She's like malleable to lots of these new things. So
people are saying that they shouldn't be calling her a social media influencer because she's committed murder.
Yeah, lots of people are saying that it's controversial and kind of questionable that people are now dubbing somebody who was in conspiracy to murder somebody an influencer. Like, how does that work? Like
because what you influence,
is that appropriate?
Yeah,
was the sort of the conversation.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting one. It is a very interesting one. She's living a life, and another thing that I did enjoy, to be fair, off the back of the commentary of Gypsy Rose's recent escapades, was somebody said that Gypsy Rose is like the amalgamation, if that's the right word, of every single like Lana Del Rey song ever published.
Oh, right, yeah. That's so true.
So she's like smoking a cigarette on the highway with her ex-fiance, and then she's gone and got tattoos. Like she's living her Lana Del Rey life right now.
That's such a good analogy. Yeah, that's so good.
So who knows? We might get an album from Gypsy where it's like, I'm back again. I'd be interested to see that. Who knows? That might be in the pipeline for her. A little wild, country album.
It's wild, yeah. It's really hard because like you kind of forget, and then you look at it and you're like, "Whoa, she's doing all this. What's she doing? She's going crazy with all this stuff." And then you go, the context, or not the context, but like the baggage.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, do more.
Yeah,
like Jesus Christ, like. Do no job and the rest. Like, you deserve what? Just try it all.
Just do it all.
Dip your toe in a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Just enjoy life and let her live.